I went through my husband's phone and now I'm divorcing him. And this is part 2 of how he reacted when I came downstairs with his phone. First of all, I want to say the commitment from people for this side of the story, I just find really interesting. The fact that people care so much about my story, I just find really interesting. I didn't really think anyone would care about this. So here we go. I would not consider myself a very calm person. When I get angry, calm is not the way that I tend to deal with things. But in this situation, for some reason, I felt very, very calm when I went downstairs to confront him about his phone. I gave him his phone very peacefully and I said, "Thank you so much." And he said, "So how mad are you right now?" I stayed very calm the whole time. I looked right at him and I said, "You know what? Not as mad as you might think." And then we kind of started to go into some things. One thing that I did not mention in my first video, because it's kind of personal, but I don't really care about putting him on blast at this point because he embarrassed me, is that my husband has been holding out on Smexy time from me for many, many months. And that's another thing that I want to address because some people in the comments assumed, oh, well, if your roommates living in separate rooms, if you were not having Smexy time with him, that no wonder he cheated. First of all, ew. Second of all, I was always open for business. Every single day, all the time, I'm always open for business. He was saying that he didn't want to because he's been having hormone issues lately. So we have not been doing that. And when I went through his phone, I found that he was watching porn every single day. So from my experience, he has always done this thing where when he gets in trouble, he doesn't want to feel like he's in trouble like a little kid. So he turns into this very hurtful person, which is another reason why I'm leaving him. So when I confronted him about the corn, he laughed in my face and he said, "Oh yeah, I love corn. That's probably never going to stop." And I said, "But I have been asking you for Smexy time." And he goes, "Yeah, well, we haven't been talking. We haven't been in a good place, but I love corn." And then another jab that he gave me, I think just, again, to hurt my feelings and try to make himself feel bigger and better than me at that point, was when I brought up that, hey, I know that we've been in a bad place, but we're still married. His excuse was, "Well, listen, you haven't been talking to me. We haven't been in a good place. What do you expect? When I don't get what I need from you, I go to other women for validation." And I said, "Man, you must be really insecure if when we're not in a great place, you have to seek out validation from other women. And I feel bad for you." So again, he kind of smiled and said, "Yeah, well, you weren't talking to me and I love getting attention from other women when you don't give me what I need. So that's probably never going to end. I'm probably going to do that for forever." And listen, ladies, as I say all of this stuff out loud, I hope that you ladies get just as irritated for me as I am for myself to be treated that way by somebody that I was married to for 10 years. Nobody deserves that. It's not just me, but nobody deserves to be looked at and said, "Yeah, I know I did these things. I'm probably going to continue to do them though." So at that point, I knew it was over. He made it very clear that he didn't want to repair that at all. He didn't seem remorseful at all. So I took a deep breath, gave him a big smile, and I said, "Okay, well, let's get working on filing. I don't really know the process to that, so I need to do a little bit of research, but I'd like to get filed by next month and get all of this stuff sorted out. At this point, you are now single. You want to act like you're single and pretend that you're single. You are now single. You may see, talk to, and do whatever you want, and I am going to do the same, and let's file for divorce next month." And he said, "Okay." But trust me when I say this story is not over. Now, you see, my mother-in-law was due to be in town 12 hours after this discovery. So when he asked me, he said, "Taylor, can you just be chill while my mom's in town? She doesn't need to know anything that's going on." I said, "Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm going to tell your mother everything." And that story, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go through tomorrow.